Okay, let's talk about it then. Sentinels versus DRX. How did DRX manage to completely dismantle Sentinels on this first map of Lotus? Well, we're going to start off here with round number 4, which doesn't start too great for Sen.
Start the round. Again, this execute. Going to be given up. Sentinels happy to give that space up. They don't mind letting you rotate over to B. Sometimes they'll use this toxic screen to catch you off guard.
Very heavy commit to this side of the map now. Stealth drone going to be spotted out, taken down. Mako able to find a kill. His bang is just straight across him, and the man can't see a damn thing!
Yeah, so not a great start from Sentinels. And in this video, we are going to see some, very good stuff from DRX and some not so great stuff from Sentinels. That's how you end up with a 13-3, right? And this one here, we're going to first talk about DRX and their comp and how it works and how they seem to have mastered it, right? Because they played this comp on both maps and they seem to have they understand this comp. Absolutely they understand it, and you see the strength of this comp when DRX play it. Because one thing we're going to see quite a bit of from DRX is the kind of layered approach, right? So you can see, I mean, we're only playing solo smokes, but we're putting a smoke out here early. We're sending missiles to early positions that Sentinels might be in. We're sending breach flash. We're going to Euro flash out of this, right? We're sending some util to come and kind of win this early fight, this first part of it, and go from there essentially for DRX. And you see that they win this first fight, right? Sentinels don't contest too much there overall. We push out just over here. We got the one way for Sen, so they're starting to get on the angle on C. But now we're gonna see these two essentially just get absolutely wrecked, as they don't quite, they're kind of doing neither one thing nor the other, right? Like we're separated here. We've gone 1-1 on our own. And the thing is, with this comp that DRX are playing, like it has so much util, right? There is so much util in this comp. We've already seen them use some of their util, to take that first bit of A, but we still look at how much we've still got, to potentially take space here, right? We've still got so much util here to do stuff with if we're DRX. And that's the strength of this comp, right? Is that we can just flood you with util. And you're going to see Zekken, maybe not expecting it fully. He's going to get droned. He's going to get cloned, right? He's going to have too many things to shoot at once. He can't shoot at all. And the reaction is too late there from Bang as well. And as I say, they were kind of doing, they're kind of doing neither one thing, neither the other, as I said, right? Like, it's not like we're set up for some kind of trap play here for Zekken. It's not like we're fighting it together. We're a bit off here maybe for Sen, right? The timing's a bit off. You see the Bang's actually doing a smoke as this is starting to come in, but its flash is just a little too slow. And then he's about to get blinded by a flash up here from the breach. You can just see it above my head, just up here. I mean, because he potentially does have multiple kills here. But again, DRX, they just have so much util, right? There's just so much that they can throw at you that everyone gets blind here. And eventually, when the Omen flash fades, Bang ends up dying as well. And then we see even more of this, right? Now, we get to the third phase of, taking the side. Look, we're getting Omen flashed. You're getting aftershocked. This is what I mean, right? Like, DRX have so much util to just send at you. And Narrate has nowhere to go. Either way, he's dead. Hyunmin takes off John's head, and that's the round, right? And this is the first full gun round in the game. Sen didn't do any damage. This is a no damage first gun round of the entire game, which kind of set the tone. Okay, now let's skip ahead to round number 6. And in this one, you're going to see quite a quirky, funky C-exec from DRX.
To the next round, DRX this time going to go on an exploration towards Mound. And look at how fast the rotations are coming through. Already Zekken over here, along with John QT and Zelsis.
Has to be. Have to be making these faster pivots as Mako is just TP'd in. He's just hounding him down. John QT assassinated him, and now strike. Zelsis is gone. Second here to try to hold the line. Spots.
Okay, so this is actually really cool from DRX and what they do. The first thing is, we actually have Bang on the other side of the map. He's playing very, very far away from C, so this one way is just always too slow, right? I mean, DRX just run past it. There's not much to that. But then, I mean, this is kind of really cool, right? So they smoke this, right? It starts with just this smoke, and Mako's going to TP into this smoke, and then he's going to TP into the backside, right? So he's going to go for this double TP. We're going to get the Yoru clone. Actually, Sen do a good job here of shooting this Yoru clone before it actually reaches the vice wall, right? So you see the Euroclone is just below my head. It's going to get shot in just a second before it reaches that. But whilst that's going on, we got missile, we got aftershock in the smoke. Mako's now TPing into it. You see that the missiles, and we'll see this later on as well, the missiles and the aftershock mean that you kind of can't challenge Mako in this smoke. But the thing is, if you're Sen, you're thinking, well, they haven't actually put any other smoke down. They haven't actually smoked off, either side here that you normally would expect if an exec is coming in. And they've sent the Yoru clone in, so maybe they were just hoping to, you know, kind of bait out some util, you know, bait out a snake bite, bait out the thorns, stuff like that, or try and destroy the thorns. Like, if you're Sen, you might really be thinking, like, oh, this is just kind of like a little bait exec, right, to try and get us to use our util. But really, Mako is going in here, and that's why it's kind of genius, because I don't think Sen think that this is a real exec at this point. Right, I think that this is just like they're thinking, oh, you know, it's a little trade of util. They then also have the TP down here. But when Mako goes for this second TP, they then stun. Right, so the timing of this is really, really nice, because now they're stunning down here. Right, which eliminates this guy. You know, anyone here is going to back up so that they don't look Mako's direction. And anyone, you know, over here is getting caught by the stun, and Mako's going to chase them down, as we see. So it's kind of genius here from DRX. The way it's just such a strange exec that I think Sen were probably completely taken off guard. And then as Mako is doing this, right, as he's coming and getting this kill, now as we're hunting them down, now I'm coming in here. Now I'm TPing in here, right? So once Mako has kind of revealed his hand and like, oh yeah, there's someone backside, guys. Now we're coming in this way for real as well. So now if you're the Sen players again, it's like, well, where do you look? Where do you go? Right, what do you do? What do you focus on first? Right, we're getting droned here, getting revealed for Zelsis, so he's dropping down. Hyunmin's TPing in. Mako's backside, you know, John's going crazy saying, you know, there's a guy backside. Whilst all this is going on, I mean, you try and sort your way out of that, right? And eventually, because there is no smokes here, right, Zaken does eventually trade Mako. And then, you know, he's going to find the kill on Hyunmin as well. It looks like he's trying to TP away and maybe go for some other idea. But here's the thing again that I talked about before. This comp has so much util. So when you add in ults to this, right, like a breach ult here, well, guess what? What do you do, right? So even though this doesn't go that great for DRX, what I love about what DRX do here, and then we'll see it in another round as well later on, is they've gone, we're going to bombard this site, you know, we're going to do this little cool exec that we've, you know, come up with that's going to surprise you and get a couple kills. And if it goes, you know, like okay, but not disastrously, well, then we can rely on the ult, right? If it goes super well, that means that we can just save ult for post plant and, you know, win the post plant like that, right? But if it goes kind of muddy, you know, like it has here, 2 for 2, well, then we can just use the ult to kind of, you know, secure the site the second way. And essentially, you know, Sen in this spot, they don't quite have enough. And again, DRX are going to close it out.
He's crashing his way. Hooks back into the corner, staying safe here for the moment. Warning shots out there from Freeing. Solid efforts here from Sentinels to be able to keep things as even as they are. But right as I say it, the rate picked apart. Cam cleared. Second flashed. Once again, forced away as Bang. Now arriving in from Waterfall, sends out that paranoia, but it only connects onto one. 2 targets, second! Somehow nearly.
But we've seen one DRX C exec, yes. But what about second DRX C exec? Because this one is actually on an eco for DRX, or kind of a half buy, you would say here. But still, it's going to work out for them.
Has responded in kind. Got their heads on straight now. Zaken sensing the pressure. Just going to get on out. Orb fed over to Hyunmin, still a few away from the next one, but still have the Armageddon, still have the Neural Theft available. Mako's ult as well.
Second, just go ahead and stay put here for the moment, but now that salvo comes through. Mako once again looking for the same TP setup. Goes over towards that side instead. Paranoia up over the top, gonna be able to get a connection, but Naray's just spamming through the wall. Does manage to gun him down. Pain finding one. Is freeing. The Armageddon across the way. Second ends up getting blown.
And again, I think right there, you're starting to get the idea with this DRX comp, is that the overwhelm is so great and so massive that there's kind of nothing you can do. Right? Especially when they have ults like Breach ult or Teo ult online, like in this one. If you just play passive off site, they're not going to use the ults till they need to. So you're just going to lose the post plant, most likely, if you do that. Because again, we see the same thing with the Teo missiles and the Aftershock here. You can't be in the smoke to challenge Mako as he's TPing in. Right? Again, he's only done this one smoke as he's TPing in. Now this time, instead of TPing back site, he's going to TP this way. Right? So we're going to go for kind of a different plan of the same sort of, you know, situation here for DRX. Now, Mako doesn't see anyone this time. But you see, again, like, I mean, what does Zaken do? He's getting stunned. He's getting flashed, right? He has to leave. But then again, okay, so you would say at this point, Sen have done a pretty good job. They survived that kind of first onslaught. They're still here. But again, this is the problem. They've still got plenty of util to use at you. Right? It's not over. Right? We're still here. And we're still, you know, we're going to use Omen Flash. We're going to use Clone. We're going to have other flashes. It's actually a decent job by Narrate. They find the first kill. But now that, you know, DRX didn't find their advantage and they realize that Sen, you know, kind of are around, well, now we're going to Teo ult you. Right? And now not only are we going to Teo ult you, but we're also, you know, going to be sprinting up at you as well. You know, we're going to flash as this is coming in. We still aren't done with all of our util, by the way, just yet. Right? We're going to be fighting you. You're going to have nowhere to go. We end up with a Zekken backing into a Teo ult. Right? We're getting kills. Hyunmin's running up here, taking Narrate's head off. Like, there's just so much to have to deal with. There's so much to potentially have to survive that you are often going to end up in this spot. Right, that there's just so much to have to think about, so much to deal with. Is that Yoru TP real? Is that Yoru clone real? I'm getting stunned. I'm getting flashed. I'm getting flashed the third time. There's a drone coming at my feet. Oh, Mako's TPing behind me all of a sudden. I can't hear anything. Like, there's so much that it's just, I don't know what to do here if you're Sen, right? Because as I say, if you just like play, oh, we'll just play for Flood Retake or we'll just play off site. Well, if they do have Breach Tail ult online, you know, those ideas start to become less of a factor as well, because DRX have shown to you that they aren't going to use those ults, you know, first time in, right? They're not just going to ult straight away. They're going to wait to see what happens and then ult if they need to. But again, had this been a cleaner exec for DRX, you know, they just win and they win all the first fights, well, they just won't use their ults and they'll just save them and do it again. But now let's just finish here with round number 10 for DRX. And whilst DRX, you know, have shown that they know what this comp is about and they know how to use it, there was also, again, more mistakes from Sentinel.
Split. Flashback. Calling for a little bit of backup from Mako. Second.
Oh. Immediate exit. Dancing around these shots. He's stagnant, tucked in behind Mound here. Oh, 3 swings out, and this time the shots will connect, freeing, able to go ahead and come away with a free kill.
So yeah, this one from Sen isn't very good, right? Because what we're going to see is they're trying to go for this early kind of C fight here with Zekken and Bang. But you just see like, okay, yeah, you have to retreat. The stun got you or whatever. You know, Bang sees that people are there. Well, at this point, Bang has a choice, right? He has TPs. He can TP away if he wants to, which is a perfectly fine choice as he's seen that DRX are, you know, now willing to be pretty aggressive here. His teammate is stunned and is, you know, away from this fight. He can get out, right? You can get out if you want to right now. He chooses not to, as we see. More util is coming his way, right? So DRX, they're sticking around. They have shown, you know, really no indication that they aren't there. Zekken is kind of thinking about coming back, but then he is running away as Bang is taking the fight. So Bang then decides, hey, I want to take a fight. And Zekken is, I mean, we can see, he's literally turned away. He's out of there. So we're just on completely different pages here for Sen, you know, just not in that right kind of connection in terms of what we're doing. And now as we see DRX come up and group up towards A, we're going to see that they don't have an answer for this Teo drone. And from there, it's going to basically fall to pieces.
Sentinels isn't moving. They haven't budged. They're not biting.
They've also kept this Odin quiet for the time being. Not sure if this is going to be red at all. Celsius is also just tucked in behind the box, is trying to find that stealth drone. Cannot do so. Celsius is now going to be forced back away. The aftershock even thrown towards him to try to stave him off. And Mako once again leads a charge, rushing forward, finding John QT, finding Narrate.